Hello, this is the RPG Pundit, the final boss in Internet Shitlords. And this is not going to be a very typical video. As you can see, I'm outside. And I'm not even going to try to monetize this. This is going to be some heavy stuff, right? So if it's not your ball of wax, I guess you'd say, your cup of tea, then I understand. But seeing as it's not going to get monetized, I do want to make a couple of little notes at the beginning, which is first of all that on Sunday night we have inappropriate characters. I believe it's 8 o'clock Eastern. Yeah. So keep an eye open for that. It's going to be guest starring Griffith Morgan of Secrets of Blackmoor and Tonnisborg. We're going to be talking about censorship on the OSR Reddit. And a few other topics. We're going to talk a little bit about Planescape. We're obviously going to catch up with what Griffith is doing. And so check that out. The other thing is check out RPG Pundit Presents number 109, Medieval Dream Magic. It's just come out recently, and it's already selling very well. It's a complete system of magic for any OSR or D&D based game that involves the magic of prophetic visions and travel through the world of dreams. And I think you'll find it very interesting. All right, so to get on to the main topic, I am doing this video because some people said some things on the internet, and I have to get involved in it, apparently. So what happened is that I had exposed, and this isn't the first time, and it's not really about this anymore. I want to talk about something meta to it, but I had exposed a YouTuber named Max Boivin who had engaged in Holocaust denial on his Twitter account. And by exposed, I mean I shared those tweets that were sent to me, right? And in the process, I brought up that his that there are several people, like he had made his way into the YouTube sphere of OSRness, and there were several people who had guest starred on his show. I never in any moment implied that those people knew about his views ahead of time, right? But I did suggest that maybe they want to denounce it. And of course, this raised up a huge, there's some construction work going on in the apartment next to me here. Raised up a huge fuss from a bunch of people that are saying, well, why are you doing this, pundit? Why are you trying to cancel people? Why are you engaged in cancel culture, right? Which was not the goal in any way. It was to get people to understand the gravity of what this guy was doing, and hopefully stand up to it. But there seems to be some people that think they shouldn't. And I'm not saying it's because they believe in the same crap that this guy believes in, but because they have reasons to want to not make waves. And whatever those reasons may be, there's one of them that has become very clear to me, that it's not just applying to those people, but to all of the people that have been kind of responding to me on Twitter, not the guys with the YouTube channels, but like a lot of regular people who are like, oh, I love your books, pundit, but I don't like it when you suddenly try to divide the OSR movement, right? Well, this isn't dividing the OSR movement. I'm doing exactly the same thing I'm doing in any other situation. I am fighting against entryists to the OSR movement, right? And I think I get what's going on. Like, here's the problem. I had one guy who said to me, well, pundit, I understand that you're trying to call on people to reject Mr. Max, but the problem is that there's a lot of people who have been canceled by wokeists, and they know how that feels, right? So that's why we don't want to do it. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. No, it's not. You're not disapproving about this because you were attacked by wokeists at some point. Because every time I say anything like this, anytime I go after somebody who is, let's say, a guy who is saying that white people are evil, right? Or someone who's advocating for I don't know, lowering the age of consent or something like that, right? If we go after those, you fucking cheer, right? So but as soon as it's to somebody who is a guy on the Yahtzee right, then suddenly there's a problem. So this is not that. What is actually happening, though, is this. It's that you were hurt by wokeists in the past, either directly, as in you as a person, or you as in the things you love and the people you care about and other people you admire were attacked by them, even if you personally weren't ever canceled, right? And now you believe that you need to have an alliance with everybody that the wokeists claim that you and that the other people they've attacked are. And that's just not true, right? Like, actually, if you think we have to make a team that composes everybody, from libertarians right to like Holocaust deniers, right? Then you're falling for exactly what the wokeists want you to believe, because the wokeists want you to believe that there's two sides. One side is them, the communists, basically, and the other side are the Yahtzees, right? And so you're either a communist with them or you're a Yahtzee. And that's what they want you to believe is the division. But that's not true, right? Because in fact, the Yahtzees are exactly the same as the wokeists. They believe all the same things. They just wear the other team's jersey. But their ideology about racial politics and about collectivism is precisely the same. It's exactly the same thing. Okay? So if you're on their side because they oppose SJWs, you have fallen into the collectivist paradigm and you have already lost. Okay? The sides are in fact the collectivists, people that believe that the individual doesn't matter, that individual rights don't matter, and that what matters is the group, and the group is usually defined by them on the basis of racial skin color, right? Of unalterable characteristics. Look at her going through that little jungle there. My God, of inalterable characteristics. That group is the only thing that matters, and that's what both the Watsees and the Yahtzees rather, and the wokeists believe, right? Or people who think on the other side are the people that think no. In fact, skin color is the least important characteristic of a human being. What matters is the content of character. What matters is merit. What matters is equality. What matters is liberty. What matters is the pursuit of happiness, right? Somebody who believes, you want to know what I'm standing for? I'm not standing for any movement where we have to be teamed up with people that want to exterminate an entire race. I'm sorry. No, that's not what I signed up for right now. Maybe you don't believe the same things I do, but I want to make really clear what I believe so that if you believe the things that I oppose, you understand that you're my enemy, right? That is the enemy. The enemy is the people who believe in this collectivist nonsense, this race-based collectivist nonsense. They are the bad guys. Doesn't matter if they pretend to be left or pretend to be right. Left and right are fairly irrelevant characteristics at this point. Because, Mitt Romney pretends to be right. So, forget that, right? So what you need to be doing is understanding that anybody in the context of our hobby, anybody who enters into our hobby with this agenda is engaging in a kind of entryism that's going to be toxic to the hobby. It doesn't even make good strategic sense if your idea is, we have to have a broad coalition. No, because the second you add an actual Yahtzee into the broad coalition, somebody who can't shut up about hating Jews, for example, right, then you're going to end up losing all the normal people. You need to have. What you need to have is a coalition of extremely normal people that just want to game. That's what you want to have. You want to have people who will stand up for that, who will stand up for returning to normality, not to saying, we're opposed to them because because they serve people with black skin and there's a Jewish conspiracy or something like that, some nonsense like that. Or on the other side, no, we're opposed to them because every single one of them, if you believe in having a 2-parent family and children and that 2 + 2 = 5, you're a Yahtzee, right? And some idiot goes and believes, I must be a Yahtzee now. Right? We must be teamed up together with the likes of these people, of Jeffro Johnson and Vox Day and Max Boivin, because because the left told us to, right? The woke left said that that's who we are. Don't fall for it. All right. It's stupid. It is stupid to believe that. This is what I wanted to say in this video, right? So I want to make really clear where I stand. If you're a collectivist of any kind, if you believe in categorizing by race or by, ethnic origin or something like that. And I don't mean being proud to be an American, that's fine. Proud of your nationality, being proud of your background or whatever, that's okay. But if you're starting to define, this is our group and we're opposed to the other group that are defined by random place of birth or skin color, then that's where the problem is, right? And that's what the woke left is doing all the time, right? But it's also what these other guys are doing, and they're not here to play RPGs. They're here to have a safe space, to create a safe space for themselves, to be able to continue to promulgate their ideas and to feign normality as much as possible. They want to be able to claim that they are part of the normal society, which is the same thing the woke are trying to do. They're trying to enter there and change it so that their despicable ideas are normative. In both cases, it's an assault on the thing itself, in this case gaming, to try to alter the standard of normality. And you shouldn't fall for it. You should, under no circumstances, fall for that nonsense, okay? So I guess that's basically my argument. That's basically it. That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? Do not fall for the entryism. And anybody who feels like this has to be a litmus test where, you're not allowed to question somebody else if they're, because they're here to talk about gaming. Yeah, SJWs claim they're here to talk about gaming too. That's nonsense, right? I mean, it's one thing if a person, I'm not saying you have to do a deep dive or get a permission slip or something like that. All this nonsense, all these nonsense criticisms that have been thrown at me as if I'm trying to be myself the justicar of all this. No, all I'm saying is that if someone has openly, on their open channels, the same Twitter account or the same YouTube account or whatever, the same Facebook account with which they talk about games, the one that they are identified as a gamer, have put up this sort of shit, then you should say, we don't stand for that. We don't stand for that, and we don't stand for you. Because that is the same as if some guy had, opinions on the left on almost exactly the same thing. If instead of Jews, it was cishet white men, right? It's the same thing. It's that same disgusting concept. So stand up to it. Don't fall for the trick or the lie that we need these people, because there's only 20 of them. That's the saddest thing. Some people are just feeling like they've got to go along to get along, but some people who might be pandering to them are pandering for 30 guys, right? The number of people that get turned off by this shit is vastly more than the number of people that are going to join our cause if suddenly we say it's okay to be anti-Semitic in the OSR or something like that, So just think about that, okay? That's all I'm saying. If you disagree with me, which you're allowed to do, just now at least you understand where I stand, and you understand that if you support something like anti-Semitism, you're my goddamn enemy, okay? I'm not your friend. I'm not your ally. Right? I don't care that you're also going after woke people, because what you want to replace it with is the same crap. Okay? They have exactly the same ideas of what they would do if they were in power. The only difference between the wokest right and the wokest left is that the wokest left are smart enough to get into all areas of power, and the wokest right are basically incompetent dumb fucks that can't manage to do anything, right? So they're only less dangerous because they are so inept, right, and so incapable of being able to worm their way into power. The left is the only thing that's different between them is that the left is has been much better at systemically worming their way into normative society and corrupting it. But if the other side did this, it would be the same. And both of them end in the same place. Collectivism always ends in the same place, in totalitarianism and death camps. That's the ultimate ending spot. Doesn't matter if they're wearing a red star or a swastika. All right? So wake up to that. That's all I'm saying. And I hope that most of you already agree with me on this. And if you don't, I hope that maybe I changed your mind. But if not, at least now you know where I stand. And that's it. Meatball, thank you for being the subject of the video today. I don't have a pipe with me, so I guess that's it.